Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin-yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update. Sunday, January 1st, the first podcast of 2023, around 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We had a rumbler in California, another rumbler, 5.4, 15 kilometers southeast of Rio Del. No injuries reported this time, but the big story, 15 million people are under winter weather alerts as the record-setting storm that inundated California pushes east like a beast. Keep calm. It's boom time. 2023 could start with a severe weather outbreak in the south. Take a look. Here's your severe storm threat for Monday. It's looking like Little Rock, Texarkana, and Shreveport are in the bullseye. And Tuesday, the severe storm threat moves east to Birmingham, Montgomery, Hattiesburg, Mobile, Jackson, and Chattanooga. So heads up for the potential for a severe threat in the coming days. Winter storm knocks out power for tens of thousands in northern Nevada and California today. And highways to Tahoe close as consecutive winter storms could bring 8 feet of snow this week. I-80 closed in the Sierras on New Year's Eve due to dangerous travel, and it's only going to get worse. Earlier today, 196,000 without power in California. Let's refresh this and see if it's gotten any better. Yeah, a little bit. 133,000 now out, 35 in Nevada. With the storm systems coming in the next few days, there will be power outages. Already 4 feet of snow on the ground in the Sierras over the last 48 hours. Take a look at this. Even Utah picking up 3 or more feet in some areas. And that's going to continue over the next few days as this major storm in the Four Corners blows up and turns into an ice, snow, and severe weather threat. Let's take a look at the snowfall totals before we get to the forecast. Here is your Monday. That system in the Four Corners will be dumping heavy snow in our region down in the South San Juans. And by tomorrow night into Tuesday morning, it's going to develop over the northern plains here. Heaviest snow now showing up in South Dakota, but significant amounts in Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, and then northern Michigan. And then a little event here by this weekend up in the Northeast. Now, a winter storm in the west to become a multi-hazard storm early this week. A powerful system in the Four Corners area will produce heavy mountain snow, gusty winds, and locally heavy to excessive rain. As this system moves east, a multi-hazard storm will develop with wintry impacts in the central and northern plains and severe storms and heavy rain in the south. A strong Alaska storm as well will bring high winds and a wintry mix. So take a look at this. There is an ice warning here for ice storms in northern Iowa and southern Minnesota, so heads up. Winter storm watches and warnings out for about half a dozen states or more. Be careful on the roads. Second more powerful earthquake shakes Soledad hours before 2023. According to the USGS, a 4 magnitude struck around 1049. This quake struck within a mile radius of a 3.2 magnitude that was reported just 30 minutes earlier. And Northern California hit by a magnitude 5.4 earthquake New Year's Day. So quite active in Cali. Luckily, nothing too big or too dangerous. Now, this comes as many in the area have been living through aftershocks from the 6.4 earthquake on December 20th, which buckled roads and left 2 dead. Seismic update. No other quakes of note. Good news. We did have quite a big rumbler in Hawaii at 3.8 offshore. Oh, where did it go? And let's take a look if that seismic swarm is still ongoing. So the Kilauea seismic swarm has come to an end, which is good news. Let's get satellite on here so we can all see what we're looking at. Yeah, just a few quakes, just 5 quakes in Kilauea, some more seismicity down here, but the big rumbler, 3.8 offshore today in Hawaii. Keeping a close eye on the map for you. As the earthquake swarm under Kilauea caldera has been attributed to repressurization after the eruption, and the altimeters are still going up in that region, but no imminent volcanic threat is being predicted. The alert level is currently at yellow, And the Kilauea information statement for the day says a swarm of small earthquakes beneath Kilauea caldera began at 6 p.m. Friday, December 30th. The USGS Hawaiian Volcano Observatory recorded 25 earthquakes, less than magnitude 2, between 6 and 9 p.m. The swarm seems to be diminishing at this time, but activity may pick up again. The earthquakes are typical at the summit of Kilauea as it repressurizes after the end of the last eruption. And that's the official word. As we move on to worldwide volcano news update, nothing spectacular to report on Sabancaya. Shivalush to 15,000, Popo erupting. Reventador Sangay, Villarrica, Nevados de Ruiz. We've got Sabancaya to 28,000 feet. Nothing spectacular except Villarrica showing vigorous and intense fountaining yesterday. Well, holy macaroni. Space weather news update. We have a flare ongoing. Small flare coming off the sun. Let's take a lookie. I'm clicking on it. I'm clicking. There it is. So here we are over at GOES X-ray flux and just a C flare, just a small, low-level C flare. The sun has been quite quiet for over 24 hours. Coronal hole is facing Earth. May give us some small geomagnetic intensity in a few days as this couples with us, and we're also waiting for that small CME to head our way. Taking a look at the Discover Solar Wind, there we go. Solar wind speed is still quite high, around 500 kilometers per second, so we have high enough solar wind activity that if we are perturbed, we will easily move up into geomagnetic storm. Now on to some science. Water from behind the sun has been found on the moon. Water from the sun has been found on the moon. A new analysis of dust retrieved from the moon suggests that water bound up in the lunar surface could originate with the sun. And this may have implications for water on Earth. And it's being produced in the solar wind. Now, ancient Chinese texts reveal the earliest known record of a candidate for aurora. And new papers coming out corroborate these dates. The events in 977 or 957 BC corresponds to a paper that shows a spike in carbon-14 exactly at that time. Plus also 679 to 655 BC. These are events could eclipse the Carrington event, according to the papers, by a factor of 100. So people all over the world seeing spectacular auroras. Interesting, the Crater Barringer. Do you know about Barringer Crater? It's also called Meteor Crater. It was produced 50,000 years ago in what may be the beginning of a sequence of events where cometary impacts affected Earth for tens of thousands of years. And Earth is about to see an object last seen during the time of the Neanderthals. Guess what? This comet was last near the sun 50,000 years ago, the same time this was created. Picking it up? If you look up into the sky over the next few months, you can see an object last seen when Neanderthals walked Earth. On March 2nd, 2022, astronomers at the Zwicky Transient Facility discovered a comet using a wide field survey camera. The comet is estimated to complete its orbit around the sun once every 50,000 years, meaning the last time we saw the comet was in the Upper Paleolithic period when humans began to expand through Asia, Europe, the Americas, and, well, were bombarded by cometary fragments. The comet is dubbed a tongue-rolling C 2022 E3 ZTF. It's currently too dim to be seen without a telescope. However, it may be possible to see with the naked eye sometime at the end of January and beginning of February in 2023. It's a fantastic shot of it here on the tweeter. We'll have to retweet this. Fantastic. Plasma tail, ion tail, glowing coma. What more can you ask for? Now, an enormous Mayan civilization was just discovered in Guatemala, complete with roads, reservoirs, ball courts, and amazing pyramids. Here, researchers used LiDAR to detect 964 Maya settlements. This is mind-blowing. A previously unidentified Maya civilization made up of 964 interconnected settlements has been discovered in northern Guatemala, dated to the pre-classic Mayan period, which lasted from 1000 BCE until 150 AD. The scattered sites cover an area of 1,685 square kilometers. That's 650 square miles. And are linked by 177 kilometers of ancient roads. We don't know anything about our history. Now, some more fascinating science. What is the rarest mineral on Earth? And in fact, there is only one specimen of it, and it's from Myanmar. And if you try to pronounce that, you'd probably say Kayawuthuit, but it is in fact pronounced Chatuite.
Stone was found in a bag of other stones, so it was from a sedimentary mine deposit, just a placer deposit of stones like spinels and sapphires that people were just mining out. Yeah, that stone was found in a bag of other stones, so it was from a sedimentary mine deposit, just a placer deposit of stones like spinels and sapphires that people...
They found it accidentally in a bag of other semi-precious gems. I wonder what the value of that is. And before we leave tonight, take a look at this raccoon trying to catch falling snow. Pretty awesome. That little bugger's having a ball. And I hope you are too in the first day of 2023. And that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people. Be a hero. Share the video. Support the work we do. Become a patron. We love you. Be safe.